Oh, it's going to be washed. Get the base.
The light, bro. To the light.
Oh.
Pick off the pieces. I'm
It's from the first night. There is hope for DMB. You never know in Drunken Soldier and Two-Step. This is better than last year's West Tour. The space between this tour and last year's tour is like the distance from the top and the bottom of the Grand Canyon. The space between this tour and last tour makes me wanna go to more shows. Should I add MSG Night 1? Should I make a surprise trip to Seville? DMB post-show stream is starting now. Yeah, nah, it's gonna start now.
It's your boy Concert Vince 34 back at home.
What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34.
Yep, so your boy Concert Vince 34 coming to you here.
What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Aria. Okay, so this is Aria, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews Band.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28, 1998, and if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years.
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was like the end of the prime. 07, 08 was like, you know, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has put, Rashawn has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play. Rock Falls, I see. South Carolina, what up? Clemson, what up? Anderson, what up? Spartanburg, what up? Columbia, South Carolina, what up? Shout out to my cousin Dallin Wright, D1 football player from Saluda High School. If you couldn't afford Florida anymore, you moved to South Carolina. What up? Oh, I forgot to mute it. If you couldn't afford Florida anymore and you live in South Carolina, what up? Charleston, what up? Sorry you didn't get this type of show this past summer. Y'all deserved it. Myrtle Beach, what up? Charlotte, what up? Rock Hill, what up? Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. This is incredible, guys. This was for a just a midweek southern stop with a lot of casual fans. This band just did its thing. This band just never ceases to continue to grow from starting over, building up again, starting over, adjusting, adapting. It is just let's get the set list up. But this show exceeded my expectations. Our boy Henry is on the road, couldn't make the show, but he said this is in his top 10. Henry's been going to shows since the way back in the day for over 2 decades. So this is in his top 10. Um, this it was the best of the new, the best of 10 years ago, the best of 2 decades ago, all in one show. No Shake Me Like a Monkey to close out, right? Doesn't close it out. It's in the middle. No Jimmy Eat World. Oh no, towards the end of the main set, but still it's not closing out. We get another Just Breathe. I didn't know if that was going to come back. People were hoping for it, right? But we didn't know. That could have just been a Gorge thing. He was thinking about people he lost. It's back. Two-step closes out. Show 2, it closes out. If we even just go to last year, right? And we look at last year's tour. Last year, the show had a repeat. This is the Seattle show. Madman's Eye at the number 4 spot was a repeat from show number 1 of 2022. Tonight, if we go back to tonight, let's go to tonight's show again. 0 repeats from the night before. This is just guys, there's something for everyone in this set. But for fans that were going to this midweek show, I don't think anyone thought you were going to have a spoon opener. Just Breathe 2-step. That's Just Breathe 2-step. That's one of the best encores all year. Just I was able to hear it. Shout out to Michael, who will be on later. I was able to hear a little bit of that here from his live stream, and I can't wait to hear this tape. We're gonna have a couple different sources for this tape, and one of those sources is with us here, and we're gonna bring him on. That's Zach. Zach, how you doing?
Hey Marcus, how we doing?
I'm excited for this tour. I'm excited to see what this band continues to build on. What was your experience tonight at this show?
I got to tell you, with complete honesty, tonight 100% changed the trajectory of the tour. I was a little wishy-washy on how things were going to pan out for the rest of this tour, but tonight actually has me excited for Seville this weekend and everything else that's going to go down. I think that this is going to be a really, really fun tour. This was a great show.
And compared to last night, how was the sound and how was the band as a collective compared to that first show?
The band was way more tight tonight. They were much more in sync. Dave's voice seemed to kind of finally find its pocket. They had their occasional flubs, the end of Shake Me almost went into a disaster. But overall, everybody seemed to kind of really find their groove, and it was really solid overall.
That's awesome. And for this show, what was the environment like, leading up to the start of this show? What were the fans like around the venue?
The fans that I got to hang out with were pretty chill. I mean, the venue itself was pretty empty until about 7:30 or so. I would say that it was roughly like 50 to 60% full by 7:30. And then when the band came on about 20 minutes later, the room had filled into, about 85-90% of the room.
And from my knowledge, this was your first Spoon over 100 shows, and you got it for the first time. Is that correct?
I've been wanting Spoon for over a decade, and I finally got it. I missed it a couple of times just due to other circumstances. I was always one show off of it, but I finally got it, and I was I was so thrilled. I was just like gobsmacked while sitting there watching Spoon get played out. It was just a really weird moment. I don't get a lot of those moments when you get upwards of like 100 shows when something really hits or a Chase song, something like that. That was really, really cool.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw that pop up and eventually got a feed of the show, I was like, what a start you get. Another thing I noticed here, they're continuing this little trend of playing songs from albums that may have not gotten a lot of play this summer. Like, for instance, you have Samurai Cop and She coming in from Come Tomorrow. You have with Away from the World, you have Rooftop compared to a Sweet or something else. You do have Drunken Soldiers been in rotation. And we get another Space Between with the Baritone, something that kind of came in a little bit. I saw it in, I believe that was Mansfield, but it came in the helm here, and Dave got that Barry back for this song, and it's back here again. Last play was the show I went to in Mansfield. You were there too. The last time he played Space Between was in Mansfield, which was June 17th.
Yeah, I mean, even if you look at a lot of these last time plays on these songs, you're looking at songs that have got, over 21 shows missed or over 30 shows or over 40 shows. They're seeming to dig a fair amount into the catalog to try and find some of these ones that they didn't necessarily play into oblivion during the summer. And I mean, songs like Drunken Soldier getting more play, seeing Rooftop, which will always be an absolute jam, seeing You Never Know get busted out again, which is one of those songs that should absolutely get played a ton more because it's arguably one of the top 5 best songs Dave's ever written. I mean, this similar to what you were talking about earlier. This show has something for everybody here. There are some nice solid radio hits. There's some really good deep cuts. And overall, the show flowed really well. And even, I can't believe I'm saying this, I initially groaned when Shake Me came on, but then I kind of sat there and I was like, well, hold on, I haven't heard Shake Me in like over a year or even, before that. And it's not like when it was back in, 2012 and all that, when we were getting just absolutely smashed over the head with it every other show. It was almost kind of like a nice little callback to be like, see, remember, this was kind of fun, I guess. And I actually enjoyed it for the first time in a while.
Yeah, were you at that SPAC Night 1 show last year? That was the last time I remember getting it, and some people this year got it. It closed out a couple of shows this year, but yeah, no, it's definitely being played less, and it's cool that it's better positioned. The only Big Whiskey song tonight, 2 shows in, no You and Me. I think that's a good thing, but you still have the hit Space Between. You still have a Samurai Cop. You still have a Grace Is Gone. But I love what they're doing with this set. The other thing is I love yet again a second show, and we only have 3 Walk Around the Moon songs. I want It Could Happen. I want Monsters. But I love how there seems to be an awareness to, hey, yeah, the album came out, but we're gonna play three a show for the first 2, so we allow for more of the catalog to shine.
Absolutely. I think that that's really well put. And, to a degree, I think that that was one of the biggest issues that a lot of people had with the beginning of the summer tour was when they were going really, really hard on the Walk Around the Moon songs and just clobbering like four or five into one show. And it was just causing, a lot of headaches for fans. And it seems like towards the end of the summer and even to now, Dave's kind of understood that the general vibes that the fans want are all right. We can do like three a show, and that gets the new fans in. It brings them there, but we still got to play the old stuff and really dance around the catalog. So overall, that's nice. The other thing I wanted to get your thoughts on this because I know that you're the biggest Bayou fan in the world, but I am wondering. I've got a pet theory for you, and I want to see if it holds water for you.
Okay.
When the show started today, the first person on the stage was Buddy because he came in on a scooter because of his boot. And I'm wondering if because the way that Bayou has evolved now to be so integral on Buddy, and especially that final outro duel with Dave where he stands up and plays his keyboards, I wonder that now that he's injured, do you think that Bayou might be put on the shelf for this tour?
I was thinking that today because I saw some photos and people sent me videos of Buddy, and we wish him the best recovering. But we saw him being, scooting out, and I was like, they're probably not going to play Bayou. Now, here's where, if Buddy's listening, and I know he's seen some of these streams, but if he then wants to then say, look, I can do it, I still got it. That's the only way I think it happens. If it's but I do think that it's likely Bayou does get shelved because it's important to have him fully immersed, moving, and that's really what that creates the on-stage chemistry, creates the crowd buildup, and it's something that I actually like. As much as I don't like the verses of that, although it's scary, I'm learning the song on Barry, and I'm actually, it's fun to play. I don't know, guys. I'm not. No one's.
This is sounding like a
Forcing me to
Bayou
say,
convert here,
yeah,
Marcus.
but the verses, the lyrics are still whack. Anyway, I love Dave. Great lyrics. Shout out to Mark Batson. Great producer. But anyway, no, it's that jam is awesome, and they did a promo video from MSG, and it's just, it's a great observation, and I think it will stay shelved unless there's a defiant, oh no, hold up, wait a minute, y'all thought I was finished, and Buddy just says, listen, I'm still gonna do it. But I wouldn't be shocked if it doesn't get played all tour. So
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm also, how do you feel about One Sweet World in the two spot? I know that was fairly divisive in my group chat.
well, here's my take on One Sweet World. I don't need it at a show, especially when it's not a summer show. I think it's a beautiful song. I think the Roy Sax and Dave's intro to One Sweet World that can no longer ever, that obviously Roy is not with us and Dave doesn't seem to want to learn that very difficult intro, by the way, on
Oh, you're
guitar.
talking about the nature intro. He only does
Yeah.
that every so often, like when he does Dave and Tim.
Yeah. So to be honest, I could go without it. I think it's a beautiful song, but there's so many other things that can be played in this modern version of the band, and I think the best full band versions that I've heard are with Roy and Dave way back in the day. So
I think that's pretty solid. I think that's a good answer.
but I know that people love it, so it's gonna get that, and I still think there's still great parts of that song. But what did you think of that? What do you
I think that, I personally always love a One Sweet World opener. I think that it's a really nice way to open and start a show. I think that it vibes really well and gets the crowd going. But to your point, I do definitely like a lot of those later '90s cuts of this with Roy. I think it sounds really nice. But even like just kind of sitting here and going through the set list overall, with the exceptions really only being Samurai Cop and She, I don't really see a whole lot of dead space in this set list. And if you're telling me that for me to get Spoon and One Sweet World as a 1 and 2, I've got to suck it up and get Samurai Cop as the third song. I'll take that every day and twice on Sunday.
Absolutely. And that's really what I see here too, is that, you have a Jimmy thing, you have a She, and you have a Samurai Cop. Those aren't my favorite songs, especially She. I think it's a Pearl Jam. Eddie Vedder says, "Hey, we scrapped this song. You want it, Dave?" And gone wrong. But I know it's obviously about his wife. But yeah, I could do without it. But yeah, everything just outside of those three are can't miss songs in my opinion. Songs that'll keep me at my seat. And those again, the songs I don't like. I just want to reiterate, people. Oh, you don't like? No, I think those songs are good. I just think there's better songs. And yeah, this is great. Now, I know we talked about the crowd. I don't know if you saw. Oh yeah, I sent it to you. So I sent you a video, and we're gonna pull this up here, guys, just so you guys can see it. But Lauren, our friends, longtime DMB fans, Lauren and Mark M, they were in section 102, and fans literally they got up for Jimmy thing and I think like one other song. They wanted Ants. I'm sure at the end they're happy. But these fans in the 100 level were asking them to sit down. They were sitting the whole time, and some of them were even talking. While so usually, they're sitting and having full conversations. Did you see a lot of that around wherever you were in the venue, or?
Well, I mean, I was down on the floor, and I got a pretty good view of the crowd overall. At least from what I saw, a good majority of the folks were standing. And to be fair, like a lot of these songs are fairly high energy. With a couple of key exceptions, things like It Could Happen or, you
Mhm.
know, like Grace Is Gone and stuff like that, which are definitely more downbeat and melodic. But the crowd energy was really nice overall tonight. Even I will say one of the things that I know that some is the ending of So Damn Lucky, where they've basically gone into the Sly song with it, Thank You as the outro. And that used to drag out for, a good 5 minutes or so, but it seemed like tonight they actually made a really good point to say, look, we're only going to do like 2 go-throughs of the chorus and then we're cutting it because we're not going to just drag this on for another 5 minutes. So I was very happy about that too.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that's another point of contention. I know the outro of that Rapunzel being played so much. These are just things some people like, some people don't like. Now, I will say this, and you can give your thoughts after. I don't mind people sitting at concerts. Matter of fact, I have not been to Europe. I've been to Africa, but not a concert there. And I've been to South Africa, but never a concert. But I don't mind fans sitting. The way I take in a show, I just want to be able to hear the band. And I know now, listen, Lauren and Mark, this video they sent, their people were talking over, so that's not cool. But I don't mind. I know some people, oh, I gotta be in a section, and I get that. Some people have to be in a section with high energy, but I can see a show. Actually, a year ago today, I was at a socially distanced show watching Danny Lewis and Warren Haynes, and people you had to kind of some people were just chill, you were sitting and you were separated. The most important thing is hearing the band. What is your take? Do you need people to have high energy? Are you okay with people sitting as long as they're not asking you to, hey, sit down or stop dancing?
No, I think that a lot of it comes down to it's very situational. I mean, I know that, the Dave crowd is always like concert etiquette is so weird because I go to all different kinds of shows, whether it's, rock shows, jazz shows, metal shows, hip hop shows, and all that. And the crowd etiquette is so different for all of them. I mean, you're not going to be, if you're going to be going to like a theater and seeing Eric Johnson play Cliffs of Dover, and it's like a 500-person theater, and you're the only person standing up in the center of the orchestra headbanging to Cliffs of Dover, you're going to look like a dick. But, if you're at a Dave show during the summer, But ultimately, the biggest thing is like what other people are doing is none of my business. If they want to sit, they want to stand, they want to do handstands, as long as they're not bothering me or other people, I do not care. You can go and enjoy the concert however you want. Just don't be a loud tool about it. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a great point. And that's where the people, hey, can you sit down? That's something I don't like. But yeah, if people want to sit, even somebody was watching, Mark came on, somebody was watching the couch tours feed from their seat. They were standing, but they were watching the couch tour feed on their phone. But hey, that's what they do. That's what they want to do. I would rather have a fan sitting and quiet than a fan that's loud and obnoxious and kind of like in my personal space. Keep your you can dance, you can have fun, you can sing the lyrics, but some of the fans who are having conversations, with other people loudly or pushing, shoving. We had some of that last night. That's just kind of I'm not a fan of. Any
Oh
other
God, no!
thought?
I was gonna say like my biggest gripe when it comes to anything with concerts, my biggest pet peeve is people who have decided to go and pay full value, if not more, for their ticket, and have done nothing but sit there and gab about gossip and other nonsense while a band is actively paying that you decided to go for. If you wanted to do this as a social hour, you could have gone to the bar and saved about $50. Just like if the band is on, shut up. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right. Well, hey, thanks for coming on, Zach. Safe travels to your next stop, which will be Seville, and we'll look to see your reaction. Even if you can't come on, I'll definitely reach out to you, see what you think, pass along to the fans some of your opinions here.
Absolutely. I look forward to it. And especially anyone on stream that's going to Steeville, if you're getting in there early tomorrow, don't forget you've got Joe Lawler playing at the Jefferson Theater with Kristen Ray Bowden and a bunch of other Steeville artists, a bunch of great artists that are going to be there. You've also got John Dirth that's playing as a night zero as well. So if you're down in Steeville, there's a bunch of good music. I would totally run for it.
Definitely. All right. Safe travels. Take care.
Thank you, Marcus. Talk to you later.
All right. So I want to thank Zach for coming on. And we're gonna bring on another guest in just a second. But yeah, like I really don't mind people sitting down. Do I'd rather have that than yeah, yeah, spilling beers on my poster. And I know that's happened to people. Spilling beers on posters and wobbling and moving in my personal space. You can dance, you could, do your thing. Uh, you know, but it's all about respect. Right. So let's just switch this up. All right. So next up, we're gonna bring on Michael, who has just like last year. He did the West Coast last year. Now a little closer to home, based out of Jersey, but now he's started in Savannah, Georgia. Drove up the coast to Greenville, a little further inland, and we're gonna get his thoughts here. Michael, how you doing?
Marcus, I got no ears, dude. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Is it echoing?
Yeah, there's an echo.
Yeah, dude. Can you you got somebody else to grab? My earphones are dead. Hold on, I'm trying to get them up.
Okay. All right. We'll come back to you. All right. So we'll get some technical difficulties. Let's see if we can get Kumi DMB on again. We're gonna hit him up on the cell phone.
Hey How's it going, man?
Hey, you're live on the stream.
Awesome. How's it going?
It's going well. So what did you think about this show as you hit your second show in 2 days, a back-to-back run of DMB?
Oh, it was awesome, man. I feel like they came out with a bang with Spoon. They kind of announced that, that band that we saw in the second half of the summer is around to stay. The entire set was all tour debuts, no repeats from last night, which was awesome. And seeing like Drunken Soldier and You Never Know, just a lot of bangers tonight. I really loved the energy was great. The set list was great. And Just Breathe also in the encore, that was awesome as well. So I think the band really did make a statement. And I think people going to Mohegan and MSG and Charlottesville are going to get a lot of treats.
Yeah, this made me a lot happier for the Monday, Tuesday, and then MSG Saturday run I'll be doing here. And did you go and line up for the poster today?
So there was a poster, like a merch tent outside, which was awesome. I got there. One of my buddies drove up from Atlanta, so we hung out for a little while outside. There was a cover artist playing some Dave songs outside. It was pretty good. I think his name was like Trey Stevenson, maybe. But we hung out there, and I didn't have pit or floor seats. I was in section 222, so I was like up in the up there. But so we didn't get there super early, but we did get there around I think 5, maybe 5:30, and there was a pretty short line for the merch. So we did get in the poster line. I did end up getting a foil, and they actually had I think you saw they had Savannah's poster there as well from last night, and they had the trading cards for both as well. So I guess they didn't sell out.
Yeah, I have a picture here. I think I reposted your picture. But I see the Savannah poster, and you're saying so trading cards weren't sold out. So that's interesting, and I'm sure I know there's a couple people who have all the ones from the summer. It'll be if they'll be able to probably access some of these leftovers from this fall tour stop tonight, and then last night's fall tour stop. Did the pen sell out? Did you see the satellite pen Danny Steinman did?
I have no idea, to be honest with you, if they sold out or not. I assume they probably did. Those are pretty high demand, right?
Yeah, well, they're high demand, but a lot of the people that want them aren't at these shows, but people are buying for other people. Either I don't know if they have a limit on it, but I know that people have been in contact, people across the country, with people going to these shows to say, hey, can you grab me a pen? Because this is just these pens have been very popular. They'll be online next week, and I'm sure that'll insta sell out. But very interesting to see that. And looks like they got, I see the fall tour poster. It looks like there's a shirt with a flower, like a woman's shirt with some flowers for the fall tour. Some other things here. Now, how was the crowd in your section? I don't know if you saw on Twitter, but we had some people in this is 102 that were sitting the whole time. So you're in the 200s. How was it up there?
Yeah, no, I saw that picture or the video that Lauren posted. Yeah, it was pretty similar for me as well. There was a couple times where the crowd, my section, got into it, but most of the time they were sitting. I think Jimmy thing is when they were excited for my section, and I think Grace is gone also. They got kind of excited, and then Ants was like obviously everyone's favorite. But something cool that happened for my section was if you ever saw like a bunch of balloons like in the crowd, like light up balloons, I think they all came from my section because the people behind me, probably like 4 or 5 rows behind me, they brought all these balloons with like the little lights in them. So those were going around. So that was kind of cool. But people like directly next to me were kind of like people right to the right of me were all sitting the whole time, the left of me as well. So it's kind of a mixed bag. But casual fans get excited for the the hits.
Yeah, and it sounds exactly what Mark, Lauren's husband, was telling me, is that they got excited for Jimmy thing and then I think another song, and they wanted Ants when I was talking to them at the beginning of the show. They wanted Ants marching and Bayou. So it's now but it's understandable. You're in the 200s that people are sitting. That's understood that for these type of shows in the fall that you have people that are going to get those upper level seats. Maybe they sit, it's a weekday. A lot of people have long drives from Charlotte, from Charleston, right? You have a lot of fans that may have that, hour, 2 hour drive. So I get that. But I was just shocked at the lower level having people say, hey, sit and again, one section, it looks like the whole floor was standing. Other parts of the venue seem to have some high energy in the lowers. Now, what was your favorite song of the night here?
Oh, this is tough for me. I mean, Drunken Soldier is always awesome to see, but Spoon come out, open the show with Spoon is that was incredible. Like, I happened to be in Denver when they played it in 2019, and I thought like I would never see it again. So like seeing that was awesome. I also really like You Never Know because my buddy that I was with, this was his 11th show, and he'd been chasing You Never Know for a while, so we got really excited for that. So those three are definitely my top three tonight.
That's awesome. And You Never Know is a song that people will go 50, 60 shows and not get, especially if they're not at the right place, right time. It's just one of those elusive songs, depending on where you're attending shows. This was the first. We mentioned this earlier. This was the first East Coast Spoon in full band variety since Bristol 2013, and Spoon came back in 2013. I got my first Spoon June 8th. No, is it the 8th? Yeah, June 8th, 2013 was my first Spoon. And it just came at it like they were playing it in June and July of 2013. It kind of went away. And then, like you said, you were at Denver, Fiddlers. It made its way back to the West Coast. It still disappeared rather quickly. And then this year, it's become something that hit the West Coast again and now is back east in the Eastern time zone. And I think if everyone can get this song, that's a great thing. I think every fan should be able to experience a song. And the song is easy. If you guys are watching at home and you're not a guitar player, the song is extremely easy to play on guitar. It is not a hard song on guitar. Now, there's obviously other reasons why a song like this may not be played, vocals, other instruments, but it's not a challenge. There's songs that I get why they don't play, like Dreams of Our Fathers. Like, I can understand why they don't play it. That's a hard executed song. A song takes a lot of practice. But this is a song that's easy to play, and Dave's been playing it this year. This encore, man, Just Breathe and Two Step, and so you've gotten both Just Breathes. You were at the Gorge, and now you get it in Greenville.
Yeah, it was awesome to see it again. Honestly, my friend who I was with was also there at the Gorge with me. So I was like, yeah, you're my good luck charm for Just Breathe. Every time you're here, we have to hear it. And actually, every time I've heard Halloween, it's also before tonight was with him as well. So we were disappointed we didn't get Halloween, but Just Breathe is great. I'm kind of glad it has been in rotation, or not rotation. I'm glad it's reappeared, and hopefully it stays in rotation in the E1. It's a great cover.
Yeah, and I didn't think it was, who knew if it was going to come back, given the night of mourning the loss of not only Jimmy Buffett but other people that had passed away in the music world. So that is just great to see that that's back in. Is this your final show of the year?
Yeah, this is going to be my last one, I believe. I don't think I'll be able to make it to Charlottesville or MSG or Mohegan, but yeah, it was a great last show to go out on. Ending with a two-step for the year was great. But I'm looking forward to next year. Next year's going to be great. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm also thinking, after they play Just Breathe, just to add, I'm thinking if they're going to bring back The Weight. Do you think it's going to come back, this fall tour at all?
I mean, if just Breathe coming back, I think it definitely increases the odds of it coming back. And I believe they played it. You got it. Did you get it in Atlanta?
No, they played it at the Gorge the same night that they played the opening with Jimmy Buffett song.
Yeah, I know they played it at the Gorge. I just wasn't sure if they played it at Atlanta. Okay, so it was just at the Gorge. The Gorge was the only play. Okay, so yeah, I think it could come back. Just because Just Breathe is coming back, in that to me, that's just a signal. Another thing here, no Sledgehammer, no Watchtower. I think this is a great thing. Bring new covers in. like Just Breathe. The weight, all right, bring that in. Um, and again, I like that idea of just these fresher covers for DMB, or no covers. Personally, I don't need cover. You never know. Cover Spoon, right? But I think Just Breathe is definitely it. Just it that this is arguably the best encore of the year, and it's purely because you have Just Breathe at that E1. There's probably another one that I'm missing, but there's been some great encore closers, but the first song was a little slow, and that's how it is. That's how an encore typically is. But when you have two solid songs and that E1 just hits different when you have Just Breathe. And listen, I love Funny How Time Slips Away. Like that's a very powerful song. But Just Breathe is just going to take this to a whole new level. It's rarer, and it's just a great thing. So, well, hey, thank you for being on, Kumi. Thank you for the photos, for the support, all the stuff throughout your travels this year. And we look forward to getting you on this post show stream next year.
Yeah, sounds good, Marcus. Thanks again for having me on, and talk to you soon, man.
All right, take care. Peace.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right, so that's Kumi DMB. Michael, are you good? Okay, we're gonna get Michael on briefly here, and
Hey.
let's get this off because you're not Kumi. All right, so Michael, we thanks first of all, thanks for I know you kind of had a little friend stream here that you got us in. But thanks for sharing that. And what'd you think of this show?
It was awesome, huh? How killer was that, man? It was really, really awesome. Just right through it. Uh, yeah, the spoon opener was crazy because, like they said, the place was empty. So I don't. Did anybody see set list? Was that written in?
Let's see. We can pull it up
Because
right
I
now.
was. Oh, it was okay. Because it was one of those things where the place was so empty that, like, if we were outside, we would have played something to bring people in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but the place was empty till 7:45,
Interesting.
and all of a sudden it was like he played that and they came in and off we went when they played Once We Were. It filled right in. They said people were on the outside.
That makes sense. Yeah, because there was I remember Lauren posted something about a long line to get in, and sometimes these type of venues, one thing, the downside about these more intimate venues, they tend to have less concourses, they tend to have less entrances, and they have less staff than a Madison Square Garden, a TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, or any larger scale arena. They're going to have more permanent employees. After this show, this venue, maybe it has some minor league stuff or another concert that's a little smaller scale. And also it's midweek. It's midweek. People are coming in from work, but it's just um, I've noticed that for sometimes at a venue this small, that there's some issues. I remember John Mayer in Providence. They just took forever to get in, but again, some great views. Um, poster situ-
Just on that, just to
yeah,
note, the place was set up really messed up. So in the aisle, the way it went, it was like they had some of the numbers on the normal side, but the higher the 200 sections, like offset, like my section was on the opposite side. You had to go up across the bridge to get to your seat. So if you were like walking around looking for the number on the inside of the arena, like conventionally,
yeah,
you wouldn't find it. Like my section 204 wasn't on like the interior wall. It was on the exterior wall. And then you walked up these set of stairs with a walkway across and entered in. It wasn't like traditional, like you go to like MSG and it splits off.
yeah.
It was like two separate things. So I don't know if maybe that took a little bit of time for people to find their seats. I'm not sure, but it wasn't something that I'm used to seeing.
Gotcha. And yeah, that can definitely add confusion. Now, poster, I know I was messaging you. The online didn't release a poster. I mean, we didn't get anything until, let's see, when did I post this? This is, it was at 4. So at like 4 p.m., what was going on outside the venue when you were there? Did you hear rumors or did you see anything, a merch stand pop up?
I saw them loading. There was a merch stand out in the back where they're having a thing, and they're having a pre-party. And they said in the thing specifically they were doing it at 5 o'clock. They were going to have artist merch outside.
Okay.
So that was like a good thing for a venue to put forward. Like we're going to do that. So I counted on it. I saw them loading in. It was early, and then when I went back at like 4:15, 4:30, they were already open. So I guess at 4 o'clock they decided to open the merch. If I had to guess, because that's what time you got the thing drop online. So I could see that. There were fat stacks. When I went inside, I got it at 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock. I went home, came back, went in the venue at 7, and there were still foils at one of the merch tents, at one of the merch inside at 7 o'clock. So I don't know. It was interesting. I'm sure they sold out, but
And I do one thing about this poster. I like how you have Falls Park. I had that on the intro video. You have a Clemson Tigers pennant there. You have instruments, and you have some references to songs. Don't drink the waters on the Falls Park sign. You have Don't Bite the Mailman from playing out of the stereo. What would you say? Which was the band's first real radio success. And you got
yeah,
40 miles per hour. Um, you
it's
got
tight, man.
Spoon. You have some other stuff here. Now, one thing I didn't like. Oh, there's the foil.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So let's here we'll put you here. We'll put you so you guys can see that. That's the foil. It looks really cool as far as that foil. Now, my thing is that the character, someone said it's giving Reptar vibes on the thing. Shout out to Rugrats. I thought the character, maybe is there something with the lizard locally? I'm sure that's what it is, but the lizard or whatever it is looks weird.
They
Uh,
were uh, they were actually discussing it in line when it dropped, and nobody really knew what it was. They were like, "We have no idea what it is, but we're gonna get it because it looks cool."
yeah, I think it
So
does. It just looks a little too goofy for me, in my opinion. But I think
yeah,
everything else, as far as the instruments, the references to songs, is cool. I just thought like, at least in my again, and everyone has different thoughts about it. Now, did you see this? When I
hey, I
thought,
want to say something
yeah,
too. What's up with the? See, they put fall tour. They stop at New York here, but on the shirt they put in Cape Town and Victoria.
and I've been to both of those places. Shout out to Pretoria, the capital.
Right? So
And
I don't
Cape
know,
Town.
man.
So,
Just
well, I think this is what they're doing. Those shirts are going to be able to sell over there. The
smart.
poster, they may have a Cape Town. They may just have one poster for both South Africa dates.
Oof.
So again, or they may have one for each. I don't know. I really don't know.
You can flip the screen back.
Last time they had one for each show, but posters are not as successful in overseas in any part of the world. Sometimes you have a bunch of people go to the UK, up trading cards, pens. You got the pens. Did they sell out of pens?
I don't know. I didn't see one on the way out. I kind of ducked out at the end. So,
No.
but I got these, like you said. I don't collect them, but there's people online, and I'm sure I can find good homes for these.
That's
You know,
awesome.
I'm out here doing it, so somebody will, you know, you know how it is. So yeah, good stuff, man. Really cool stuff. Everything's awesome. So the show's ridiculous. The poster was cool.
Now, did you see this? I want to show you this because the corner of Gray Street, they're doing this series. This was their custom poster. Now, they're not going to sell this because obviously then you have copyright trademark issues, or trademark issue, I think is the biggest thing, especially with the fire dancer. But they just kind of made a conceptual poster. Hey, if the band asked us to make a posters, here's our poster for Greenville. And what do you think of this poster?
That's nice. I think that looks like a lot of them. That looks like a lot of the the ones that do you like them, or you like those ones, or you
Yeah,
don't like those ones? You
this
like those,
is
right?
this is something again. The colors, the nature, and you got a fire dancer, and you got someone with a guitar. I like simplicity and nature, and I like solid colors like this. And that's what this has, and it has a fall. This feels like fall. I think the problem I have with a lot of posters that I pass on is a lot of them don't feel like the season or the town or the city. The colors aren't as solidified, and I thought this was a good poster. And I think they should consider, hey, reach out to a fan or the corner of Gray Street. I think they should reach out to more fans for prints, especially when Methane has a bunch of them. Take two posters away from it. Now they do have some independent artists and first time artists they have every year, but I think a little bit more of that would go a long way. More creative minds is better to me. I don't believe in, and I'm not trying to take business from Methane. I just think they rely too heavily on Methane, and I think Methane using those resources take it away from DMB, and they could use those resources somewhere else. So I don't know. I liked it, and I think it's more of my vibe as far as the poster.
The one last night and tonight, they were both new artists or independent.
These are the folks from the corner of Gray Street.
No, no, I meant the last night's poster, because that had a bunch of
This is from
ties
Ryan.
into the
Ryan, I
yeah.
think this is from a studio, and the other one I can't remember if I think it was. Yeah, these are
There's
they're both part of like a collective. It seems I haven't done as much work research into these artists, but it seems like they're tied to someone else. But these are artists that I don't remember seeing. Maybe they did a poster, but I don't remember seeing them.
I thought I saw a blurb on the one tonight that they were like proud to announce their first poster with Dave,
Okay,
and
yeah,
it
okay,
was it was
that makes
cool.
sense.
And I just like tying in a little, like you say, tying in a local venue into the poster a little
Yeah,
bit to like, because I like to look at it and be like, oh, that's that bridge or whatever else. Like, just a little something to tie it in, other than just like, the bus and the 40 on it and the airplane and you know, you know what I'm saying.
yeah, yeah. Any other final thoughts here? We're kind of wrapping up the show, but
Yeah, no, we're good, man. Everything's good. The band's getting tighter. A couple miscues tonight. Nothing serious. Everything's really good. They're stretching out. Buddy's really messing around on the keyboard a lot. Two step, he added in a couple of things in two step that really stretch out that outro there, and everything else. I would have liked a little more out of it. Could happen, but we can't always get what we want. But it was a solid show. Solid show. I loved it. It was really, really great. Not trying to sound jaded or anything like that. It was awesome. It was really, really good, dude. I really enjoyed the heck out of it.
All right. Well, thank you for being on, Michael. Are you going to Seville?
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Wait, are you doing the full tour?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you got Seville. You'll be at Mohegan and MSG. But again, you're just like Zach. You're from tri-state area, and is
Like,
you just the time
if
away this weekend is really the only weekend where you're traveling for like outside of the region. The rest of the tour after you leave Seville on Saturday, there's just two more venues. Mohegan and MSG, four shows. So it's nice to be in the tri-state area for this tour, and you have a mini vacation away, and then you get back, and it's over before you know it. But you still got a lot of shows. This is a Pearl Jam tour, a Pearl Jam year tour, because they only do like five. They only do like five or
yeah,
eight shows a year.
it is.
But
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, it's so fast. It's so quick, and boom, it's over.
yeah,
In the middle of it. But it's gonna be great, man. I'm looking forward to it. So I'll see you
listen,
around.
this looks if it's the way this tour is going, it's going to be quality over quantity. So I'm looking forward to that. But safe travels and take care. Thanks for being on.
Hey, thank you, Marcus, again.
It froze. All
All
right,
good.
take care. All right, so that's Michael. We want to thank him for being on here. Um, what oh, wanted to go over this, and I think this is a great example. And we talked to last night. We talked to Mark, Taper Mark, and yet again, you see another night where there's some great deals. Now, last night was a sellout, quote unquote. Tonight was not a sellout. Obviously, there were a lot of tickets left. But again, when you go on the primary, you have tickets that are, expensive. Even with the verified resellers, 103 row P for both of these, right? The cheapest Ticketmaster listing, 146.51 plus fees. StubHub, $90 plus fees, 115 after fees on StubHub. And there were some tickets that ended up being in the even lower than that. If we go here, closer to the 104 row M, $73. There were 5 or 6 other listings from this section at the time, right before the show, a couple hours for the show, that were below $100 before fees, and these are going to be at 100 or a little lower than 100. There for 73 and 86. So these tours, the only reason I would put in a warehouse request for this tour, for some of like these type of shows, not MSG, not, and even Seville, if you want to be you want an opportunity at the pit, I would say by all means put a request in, because the pit still is hard for these shows to get a good GA pit. Granted, you go to like last year, Vancouver, and some of the couple of the other West Coast venues, you could get a pit ticket for face or less. But for this show, a little bit harder unless you're going to trade. So it's just one of those things where waiting it out pays off. And it's I say it over and over again, but every year people are buying too early, right? You're buying too early for these tickets. So I just wanted to show examples again of why you wait it out. And this data, you take it and you leverage it in cash or trade, and you talk to someone in cash or trade. Hey, let's talk it. Let's you got to bring down your price, brother. It's almost showtime. Bring down that price. I'll buy it at this price. We'll be good. But again, I cannot tell. Every year people, oh no, what am I gonna do? This is crazy. The ticket price went up. Again, last night, $30 lowers for Mark, the Taper. And tonight you had below face. Obviously, this is a little higher, and I'm sure there were some deals. If you were monitoring this nonstop, you could get them. But that was just one of those things I wanted to point out. Um, Space Between with the Barry just sounds so much better. I'm glad Dave's reverted back. This has been a great year of reverting back to things that work better and trying new things that work great. So American Baby intro on the Barry, great idea that I couldn't even think. I would never even thought of that, but they did it. Space Between getting play back. Now again, last time they played this was Mansfield, but in April, or no, in May and June, they had some plays of Space Between with that, which is great. I think that's a great thing. And what else? Yeah, just I like the direction this is going at, and let's see, what do people say in this? Okay, so let's see. It says, I thought, let's zoom into this. I thought they had energy. Fond was especially bouncy and expressive tonight. Dave wasn't super talkative. Awesome set list that spread things out over the catalog. Awesome show. That's Malasane 84. Thank you for sharing. And what else do we have? We got Dingle and Connor. 10th show ever. So this is looks like, I'm guessing it's Jeffrey Jansen 10th show ever. Awesome night. Jimmy, Breathe, and Two Step were unreal. See you next summer. So this is someone that this is their final stop of the tour, and they're excited to see what happens next summer. So it's a great thing to see a fan build up that show count and get more experiences with this band. the G Oh, shout out to Jeezy and Nia Long. G just search that and then you get some fun entertainment. Young Jeezy's trying to shoot his shot at Nia. They had a little interview. And both of them allegedly are single. So Jeezy was like, "Hey, yo, what up? What up?" Let's see. I think that's it, man. I just think this is the win of the night is you have a whole new show in a whole different city in the South, and you have no repeats. Where last year the West Coast, you had a lot of stuff repeating. You had some sets that just weren't as good as these, in my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of people. People were worried about the West Coast, and really the tour. A lot of the fire of the tour didn't start last year until MSG Night 2, which is the final show of the tour. And listen, there's sometimes you try stuff out. There's different travel schedules, and some people like stuff, and you have casual fan. But this tour just seems to be better. Let's see. Oh, someone says great show. I don't know if these people are. Yeah, I don't think anyone that was there because Oven wasn't there. I think Oven was there. Another great picture here. Seville up next with Lauren and Mark. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Lauren. Ran the New York City Marathon. Ran New York City Marathon, and then literally this weekend now she's back at it for this show, and then back at it for Saturday, Sunday. So there we go. All right, that is the stream. I'll probably close out with yeah, let's get some berry stuff. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Let's see if I can hold on 1 second. Turn my headphones up. Yeah, I remember the fisticuff skit, the Dave Chappelle. Louder, louder. All right, let's see if we can turn this on. Gonna tune this real quick. All right, there we go. All right, so we're gonna close this out with we'll do some Line in the Hands of God on the berry. Let's see if we can. Yeah, we'll close out with Line in the Hands of God on the baritone. It's the same. Now, if you guys just a quick lesson, if you're not familiar with the guitar. So Dave has this baritone guitar, right? And the raised B guitar that Dave has for Beach Ball, Lying in the Hands of God. Oh, the only difference is it's essentially the same. The strings are tuned in the same with the same notes, but you have for the raised B guitar, the B is up higher than the E of a regular guitar. But you could play songs from, you could play a song from the raised B, like Stay or Leave, or Lying in the Hands of God, which I'm about to do on this baritone. It's just going to sound very, very deep, right? But you can essentially, it's Dave's messing around with these tuning, and the raised B tuning he kind of made himself, raising up that B string higher than the E. On a regular guitar, the string before the E is lower than the high E string. So I did not explain that fully right, but that's cool stuff that Dave experiments with these songs. So you can, on this guitar, I can play Stay or Leave in a much easier way without having to use a capo, even though Stay or Leave has a raised B. So the only difference is this string right here, this B right here is higher up. And I also, like, I love playing, like, Fool to Think. It sounds great on this. I don't know if, does anyone know if they use the Barry on Fool to Think for every day? It sounds like more like a Barry guitar, and Dave had it, but and you could play O on this as well. But like Stay or Leave, for instance, it's like it sounds, obviously again, it's deeper. I should sing it deeper, like. Yeah. So it's higher up. So I'm gonna do some Lying in the Hands of God, but I'm gonna do it in this. I'm gonna do it obviously like up high, deep, higher or lower. All right, so I'm gonna jam out, and that's gonna be the end of the show. But definitely like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys Friday for Seville, and then Saturday for Seville, and then I'll be live at Mohegan Sun for 2 shows. So looking forward to that. All right, this is some Lying in the Hands of God jam. I'll be right back. Got to loop this here. I got no lines. I stay on my grind. I tell them all the time. Get in my car. I got my 64 riding on the spokes. Get in my car, cause I'm your Uncle Driver. That's right, I'm your Uncle Driver. Come on, hurry, get in the car. Savior, Savior.